was so this video, okay, yeah, so I take the bus into Cuzco. Now the ride from Nazca to Cuzco up the mountain was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trip. It would have been an amazing bike ride. Yet I was too lazy or something to not to do it. Oh well. Yeah, just switchbacks, up, and then down and up, climbing. Ooh, would have been amazing. And then we go way up over this thing, and then we go down into Cuzco in a valley. Cuzco, the elevation of Cuzco, I think 7,000 feet, so it's high. It's kind of like the same as like Mexico City. So very temperate, nice and cool, even though it's kind of close to the equator, I guess. But it's a beautiful city. Kind of big too, maybe the size of Boulder, I would say. 5 miles across or something. Yeah, so it was very exciting for me to go there because that's where the Incas come from. Got off the bus, rode into the main plaza, and then got a hotel up near there. And I saw my friend Dan, the Israeli, who I saw in the hotel in the hostel in Cuzco. I mean in Quito, and then in Juarez I saw him, and then there, and he was staying at the same hotel I was, and was going to do the Inca Trail next day, so I jumped and did the tour with him and his German girlfriend, and on the bus, and there was this other English guy and a couple of American guys, and let's see, English mother and daughter team, and I guess who else. So we go over there, and we get off, and we hike in the first day, and Inca Trail is beautiful. It's all paved, cobblestone roads. We did the 4 day. I guess you can elect to do the half, where you kind of only hike a little bit, and then you go in on the river. But we did the 4 day where we go in the river, and then we stayed. We were camping out in tents that they gave us to carry. But I guess you could opt to have somebody else carry your stuff. And yeah, we camped one day next to the river thing, and I think they were cooking for us, so that was cool. It was fun. And we had like a Peruvian female guide, and then like a couple of Sherpas who would carry the food. And then we camped the next day, and there was another ruin. There's like lots of ruins on the way there. I guess the king would be able to go to Machu Picchu along the river, but the normal people had to take the Inca Trail, kind of like some kind of rites of passage or something. And yeah, so we camped the second night, and then it was over the pass, and the pass was like 13,000 feet or something. Big high trip. Now the Inca Trail is, I mean, we were a pack of, 15 people in our pack, but there were like tons of packs all over the place. So like we'd stop and have the tour, and the person would explain, and then there'd be like somebody else's pack there. So kind of we would like intermingle and talk to the other packs. But there were packs and packs and packs and packs. Like maybe we had like sister packs that we'd be like camping out together, whatever. But I mean, there's hundreds of people on the Inca Trail at all times, just packed, thousands of people. So yeah, it was interesting going over the pass because it was just jam packed, literally, bumper to bumper traffic all the way up with tourists, which I thought was cool. I mean, maybe a lot of people would be like, but I thought it was kind of cool. There were so many people there, and I like powered up there and passing people the whole way up. I was the first person on my group to the top, so I was hanging out up there, and I bought a bunch of coca leaves like in Cuzco or something. So I was like in there stuffing my face both sides like a chipmunk, trying to get as high as I possibly could. And I think I was getting a buzz on. That's what all of the Nepalis, I mean the Peruvians do, is they eat it for fun. And that plant's actually illegal there. Nice going, FDA. Um, and yeah, Peruvians and Bolivians aren't very happy about that, by the way. Um, but Like a plant illegal. You fucking kidding me? Anyways, so I'm waiting on the top of the pass for like a couple hours for the rest of my pack to get up there, and then you go down the pass, and on the other side it was totally paved. It was like 20 feet, 15 feet wide of totally paved stairs. Then this is like hundreds of years old, and I guess they uncovered it, just maybe 100 years ago, because they actually, I think maybe they hid it and stuff. They didn't want the Spanish to come and destroy it, because when the Spanish came, they destroyed all the shit that they could, anyways. So they we hiked down there and then camped in the bottom of the little river there, and And then hiked up again. There was another ruin, and then we went over this little pass, and on the other side there was like a mini Machu Picchu. It was like this castle basically, built on the top of a ridge. Um, that's really steep, goes down. You know, if you go on the edge, it's like down, 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 and that's some nice, you know, open grass areas. It would have been just, and it beautiful to live, amazingly beautiful to live, great tranquil place to. I guess they would, you know, do their spiritual practice or whatever they did. And I mean, they had some great water irrigation because it's up on the top of a ridge, so they had you could actually see this stone water, you know, man-made like little river feeding it from up above and then coming down in and passing through all of the, you know, rooms and stuff. It's pretty amazing. And then we continued on the paved trail and camped out another time, and then we went over the ridge. It was kind of like over a ridge and this paved path overlooking on both sides. Very beautiful. And then we could actually see the terraces. Because to feed themselves, they actually made terraces near Machu Picchu, a couple of them. Very big, lots, huge, huge, huge. For off in the distance. And so we hiked down there and camped out. And there was actually a restaurant there. And then it was funny, there was some guy who did some kind of big toast for all of his group, and somebody tried to get me to do one for mine. I didn't do it. I should have though. But and then the next day it was like going to Machu Picchu, and we had breakfast, and we weren't the first group to leave, and so there were lots of people in front of me, and I'm hiking, and it was like more bumper to bumper packed. Then my buddy Dan came hiking, charging through, just passing people. I guess, you know, Europeans have different spatial requirements, customs. So I kind of got on his butt and like followed him up, and then passing people, and then when it got like sparse enough, I started running. And there's this like one area where you go over a pass, and then you can actually see Machu Picchu, and there's like this keyhole or something. There's this like gate that you go in, and I was watching that a lot, and then I ran down. So I was the first person to get to Machu Picchu that morning, and I was hanging out, and I walked around it, and then our group had us do a tour. We had a tour guide, this little Peruvian guy who was like really like grumpy and angry and stuff, like didn't take any shit, but he was a really good tour guide, and he explained everything, like took his stuff really seriously. But he was a great tour guide, and yeah, it was interesting. I guess Machu Picchu is still being built when the Spanish came, because up on the very top of it, they had like a big stone in the middle of some you know, plaza type area that was in the middle, and he said, yeah, they were in the process of dragging the stone across, you know, building the wall and getting it more until when they got word that the Spanish had come, and they just abandoned it because they didn't want the Spanish to find Machu Picchu and, you know, dismantle everything. So that's when it overgrew, and the Spanish never found it until Hiram Bingham found it in like 1915 or whatever. But yeah, I did the hike up after, I guess, his tour. We did the hike up to the top of that big mountain. Now, I didn't know, when you look at photos of Machu Picchu in the background, you see this really steep, like, tower. Well, you can hike to the top of that. There's a trail all the way to the top of that. The Incas made it all paved and everything. And now this is on the edge of, like, super sheer cliff. So, like, you know, you got to kind of stay a little bit farther away from the edge, you know. And even at the very top, it gets really steep. These stairs that are like this to get up to this like building that I don't know how they built it. Those people did not have vertigo. There's an actual building up there, and then you could go even to the top, and there are these stones, these huge stones you can sit on top of, and you're on top of everything, overlooking everything. It's amazing. And yeah, so then I came down, and we looked at Machu Picchu, and there was like this little cave even in there that like looked like a condor. It was called Condor Cave because they even like put some stones in there to make it look like it. There's lots of mountains called Condor and Condorini and stuff in South America. That's like their national bird. But yeah, Machu Picchu is amazing. We saw the little apartment buildings they had there where they lived, and their central grass area, and it's like right up on the top of a ridge, a really steep ridge on the top of the mountain. It's amazing, with a big river down below. And on one side, you know, you can see the river way, way down below, like on the edge of a cliff on the eastern side of it. But I got some serious energy off of that. I mean, big. It's an energy place, definitely like Tikal. You know. And so yeah, then we hiked back down into like some like little town on the river, and then took the train back to Cuzco. Whoopsies. So I guess I'll continue there.